Eric Kandel, the man who traced memory, born 1929. In a dimly lit laboratory in New York City, a small sea creature pulsed gently in a tank of water. It had no face, no spine, and barely a brain, yet within its translucent body lay the secret of human memory. Watching closely was Eric Kandel, a man who had fled war and found refuge in the mysteries of the mind. Born in Vienna in 1929, Kandel grew up in a city that was, at the time, the capital of both art and science, and, tragically, of hatred. When the Nazis annexed Austria, his Jewish family was forced to flee. At just 9 years old, he left behind his home, his friends, and his childhood. The trauma of those memories, and how the brain could store such vivid pain, would shape his entire life's work. In America, Kandel studied psychiatry but quickly grew frustrated. Psychoanalysis, popular at the time, talked endlessly about the mind, yet offered no explanation for how it worked. He wanted to know what memory was, not as a metaphor, but as a physical process. So he turned not to humans, but to a sea snail, Aplysia californica. It had only 20,000 brain cells, simple enough to study, yet capable of learning. Kandel began with a single question: how does the brain remember? His experiments were elegant and slow. He gently touched the snail's gill, then repeated the touch while pairing it with a mild electric shock. Over time, the snail learned. It withdrew its gill even before the shock came. The creature had remembered. What Kandel discovered was revolutionary. Learning and memory are not abstract ideas. They are physical changes in the connections between neurons. When we learn, the strength of these synapses literally increases. When we forget, they weaken. In other words, memory is written in the architecture of the brain itself. This finding bridged psychology and biology, uniting two worlds that had long been separate. It explained how experiences become biology, how a song, a fear, or a face can etch itself into the living fabric of the brain. Kandel's work went further. He showed that short-term memory involves temporary changes in synapses, while long-term memory requires new proteins, a literal rebuilding of the brain. Every memory, he revealed, leaves a trace, a physical scar of experience. In 2000, Eric Kandel was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for uncovering the molecular basis of memory. Yet he remained humble, crediting curiosity and tragedy as his teachers. "I wanted to understand how we remember," he said, "because I wanted to understand how we are." Even after receiving the Nobel, Kandel kept working into his 90s, exploring how memory and emotion intertwine, how trauma can shape a lifetime, and how art and love, too, leave imprints in the brain. In his office, he keeps a photograph of Vienna, the city he lost, and the one he eventually forgave. His research, like his life, was a journey toward reconciliation, between science and soul, biology and memory, pain and meaning. "We are," Kandel once wrote, "what we remember." And through his work, the world came to see that every memory, joy, sorrow, or love, is not just a feeling, but a pattern of light, written in the living circuits of the human brain. Eric Kandel, the man who traced memory, born 1929.